Hey, it's Juliet, and here we have another one of the daily videos. And today my video is going out to anybody who is in the midst of depression. Depression is one of those conversations that we still don't have often enough, and it leaves people who are in the midst of it feeling isolated, feeling like they're the only person that's experiencing it, and feeling like there's something wrong with them, that they're somehow not measuring up, that it's all their fault, and so many other different things. And I speak to this from my own experience, and if you've seen one of the other videos I've posted on this subject, you know a little bit about my story. Back in 2001, I just hit the wall. I had a complete nervous, mental, emotional breakdown and just didn't want to get out of bed. In fact, really didn't want to continue living. What I want to tell you from that place of experience is that, yes, this too shall pass, and undoubtedly it will. I just watched a Prince E video really speaking to this idea that this too shall pass. And yes, it will. And I know from my own personal experience, when you're in the depths of it, it's incredibly hard to feel that, to recognize that. So I wanted to just bring some top tips for coping on a daily basis when you're in the depths of this, when you're really gripped by it, when you've got the panic attacks, when you've got the I don't want to be here anymore, when you've got the real deep, dark feelings happening. How do you just exist? How do you live? Because in my own experience, those are the days when it's really a challenge to stay present, to stay in this world. And so the top tip, and this is frequently Juliet's top tip anyway, is to just be gentle with yourself to the degree to which you can. The first thing to really know is that you are not going crazy, that there is nothing bad or wrong with you, but that just a set of circumstances that have happened in your life have conspired for you to be in a place where you're just not feeling great right now. And we can give it lots of titles and names and lots of diagnoses, but that, in the essence, for me, in my experience of depression, that's what it is. It's that place where you come to as a result of so many different things that happen in our lives that get you to that place of just not feeling great about who you are and about how life is for you for now. So being gentle, recognizing that today, in this infinite now, which is the only moment we ever have, that right now, what's the most kind thing I can do for me? And sometimes, again, speaking from my own experience, sometimes the kindest thing you can do is just pull a duvet up over your head, pull the bedspread up, and stay in bed and sleep and rest. Allow your body, the infinite intelligence that's through your body, to help you heal. There are all kinds of different things you can do nutritionally that are going to support you starting to feel better. And I'll post some links at the bottom of this video that can take you to more information about that. But being gentle, just doing the thing that's in front of you to do. If that's crying, cry. If that's shouting, shout. Be safe, but feel how you feel and express how you feel, but be gentle with yourself. Don't make yourself wrong, because my experience of this is that a lot of depression comes from us being hypercritical of ourselves, having an expectation on ourselves to be somebody or to behave in certain ways that we just can't measure up to because they're not the authentic us. They're not the truth of who we are. Who you are is amazing. It doesn't matter what other experiences you're having in life right now. You are a perfectly divine expression of love, of life. That this thing called life, this infinite intelligence that has everything working majestically in this multiverse that we live in, that thing breathed its life into you. And really it doesn't matter what you call it or how you connect to it, but we all live this life. We all have this spark of life within us. And that makes us all equally amazing and spectacular and beautiful and perfectly whole. And that is the truth of you, no matter what other stuff you're feeling in your life right now. That is still true about you. So can you be gentle on yourself? There's the Karen Drucker song, and I know I refer to it regularly, but it bears reminding. Being gentle with myself, I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. So trust that place in you. Trust that place that wants to go slowly, and honor it and nurture it and hold it. The other lyric in that is, I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. And that's the big challenge when you're gripped by depression and anxiety and stress and the things that lead up to depression, is that we don't do that for ourselves. that we're so busy in judgment and criticism, we've got that chattering voice in our head telling us how we're wrong, we're bad, we're not enough. Those aren't the truth. Those are just stories that we've learned through our life experience. So being gentle, that's like priority number one. Just hold yourself, be as gentle as you can and as compassionate with yourself as you can possibly be. And recognize that you are where you are. Let go of the stories that you make up about what that means about you. There is nothing bad, there is nothing wrong, there is nothing less than or not enough or too much about you. You are the perfect you. And the more quickly you can breathe that in, I am the perfect me. Really own that for yourself. And recognize that the stories that you're making up, maybe you're on antidepressants and you're making up some stories about what that means about you. Maybe you're on some other kind of anxiety meds that the doctor has prescribed, and you're making up stories about how that means that you're stupid, or you can't cope, or you're weak, or you're all these other stories we're making up. Well, my invitation would be to let those go with as much gentleness and compassion as you can, but know that they're not the truth of you. The truth of you is that you're a radiant being of light, that you are an amazing expression of love, that life would not be complete if you weren't here in your perfect expression. You are that. For me, when we think about the story of Moses coming down from the mountain, having spoken to God, and God said, I am that I am that I am. Punctuation is everything. And you are that, and I am that, and we are all one, and we are all connected. And so through my own experience, I just urge you to be in this place of knowing that there isn't anything broken about you. You are perfectly whole and beautifully complete, but you're having an experience of something that feels other than that right now. And that although this will pass, and it undoubtedly will, it's just how you cope on a day-to-day basis. So number one is just be in that place of compassion. Number two is evaluate those stories that you're telling yourself and let them go. Again, with that gentleness and compassion, but stop believing everything that chattering voice in your head is telling you, because it's not the truth of who you are. Who you are is amazing. Who you are is spectacular. Who you are is beautiful. Who you are is a radiant beacon of light here for your own purpose in the world. Whether you know that or not, it still remains the truth about you. And the third thing that I would really like to bring for you today is this idea of moving. It's really difficult, and I speak from my own experience. When you feel like all you want to do is pull up the bedspread and cuddle down and not talk to anybody and not do anything. But actually, what we know through science is that if you get out and move, even if it's just a walk around the block, even the best you can do is drag your clothes on and walk one block. There's a whole bunch of chemistry that starts to happen when you do that. Even better, if you can find other people to walk with you. Because we also know there's a whole bunch of chemistry, oxytocin being one of the significant hormones that gets released when we're in community. And that creates a whole bunch of happy chemistry in our body, which is going to, again, help elevate the mood. So move, and if you can, if you've got people who support you and love you, which I know you have, you just have to be willing to invite them in, which I know when you're in the midst of this, our instinct and our usual behavior model is to withdraw, to step back. But actually the thing that is going to support us through this most strongly is to seek community, is to be willing to share. And I know there's a huge amount of bravery needed, because your stories in your head are going to say that people are going to have judgments and opinions. And some people will, and that's not your business. That's their stuff. Please know that there are people around you who love and support you no matter what. So number 3 is move. Even if it is just a walk down the street and you can't do the whole block, just walk down to the end of the street and walk back. And you will feel some relief. I promise you, just because it's a chemical thing. It's not something you have to worry about thinking about overtly. It's just moving, allowing your body. And perhaps, actually, you have a passion for another kind of movement. Perhaps you already know that you enjoy yoga or you love to dance. Move your body. In moving your body, you will start to release those happy hormones. Find ways of doing that in community, and you're going to release even more happy hormones. So that's my 3 steps to working with being in the moment when you're with depression.